There is no chosen people. The chosen people are people who choose Jesus.
This is one of the most disgusting manipulations that a Bible hater can make. There are chosen people, but to make it completely correct, there are people of the covenant that started with Abraham, and then the Sinai covenant that was made with the people of Israel. But not only to Jews, but also with all the people from other nations who came out of Egypt following the one true God. So at the very beginning, it was not just about genetics. In the book of Esther, someone who has read the Bible knows that many people became Jews, even though they were not descendants of Israel. The book of Esther, 8 verses 17, in every province and in every city to which the edict of the king came, there was joy and gladness among the Jews, with feasting and celebrating. And many people of other nationalities became Jews. 2,000 years ago, about 1 million Greeks converted to Judaism, and they and their descendants are considered Jewish. In the 8th century, Khazars converted to Judaism, and in the 20th century, about 20,000 Russians converted to Judaism, and they are all considered fully Jewish. So it was always about the ones who keep the everlasting covenant and their offspring. It is an everlasting covenant between God and the Jews by the words of God. Genesis 17, verse 7, "And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations, an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your descendants after you." Exodus 31, verses 16 and 17. "Now therefore, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever." The key words are everlasting and forever. And to continue the verses from Genesis 17:7 to 8, the ones who read the Bible know that God gives the land of Israel to the Jews forever. "The whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their God." Genesis 13, verses 14 and 15. "The God said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, 'Look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see, I will give to you and your offspring forever.' And God calls that land Israel." Ezekiel 20, verse 42. "When I bring you into the land of Israel, into the country which I swore to give to your fathers." Psalm 105, verses 7 to 11. "He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever, the promise he made for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree, to Israel as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit." Let's continue.
Chosen people are people who choose Jesus. That is the Christian message right there. It's not an anti-Semitic message, by the way. It's the Christian message. It's the core Christian message.
No, that is not the Christian message. The Christian message is that the covenant between Jews and God is an everlasting covenant. Jesus said in Matthew 5:18, "For I tell you truly, until heaven and earth pass away, not a single yud, not even the smallest detail of God's law, will disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. So then, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do likewise will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 23:2. "The scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, so you must be careful to do everything they tell you." That is what Jesus said, and with those words he confirmed that the covenant between God and the Jews is forever and everlasting. Non-Jews are not obligated to convert to Judaism and keep the Torah or the whole law. That is not a new commandment. It is like that from the time of receiving the Torah on Mount Sinai. Non-Jews are not obligated to be circumcised or to keep the Sabbaths, but they're obligated to worship the only one God, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to love their neighbor as themselves. The Jewish Rabbi Paul confirms that in Acts 15:19, "It is my judgment, therefore, that we should not make it difficult for the Gentiles who are turning to God. Instead, we should write to them, telling them to abstain from food polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from the meat of strangled animals, and from blood. For the law of Moses has been preached in every city from the earliest times, and is read in the synagogues on every Sabbath." Those are how the rabbis call it, the Noahide laws.
And yet there are many self-described representatives of the Christian faith who are daily sending a different message. And we should be very clear, whatever this is, it's not Christianity, it is heresy. And among the many examples we could pick, we're going to go with...
Yes, we're going to go with the words of Jesus and the Rabbi Paul, for example, that I have previously mentioned. which proves that you are a heretic and a liar in the name of God.
The Christian message is universal. That's the whole point of it. The chosen people in Christianity are those who choose Jesus. The entire New Testament is that story. And anyone who says otherwise has not read it or is lying.
You have read the Bible, and you are lying. You will regret all the lies that you have made in the name of God, saying that God's holy everlasting covenant with the Jews and with the land of Israel is not in charge anymore. God said in Deuteronomy 12:32, "Everything that I command you, you should be careful to do. You shall not add to it or take from it." And you, Tucker Carlson, took the whole law and God's covenant. You will regret that. You will regret that. Make no mistake about that. You are a prime example of what Jesus means when he says that he is sent only to the children of Israel and not to the dogs.